I request Purushottam Khandelwal sir, the Central Council member, Piyush Chhajed sir, Central Council member, also the Direct Tax Committee chairman, Sunil Sanghvi sir, chairman of Ahmedabad branch, Nirav Agrawal, vice chairman of Ahmedabad branch, to escort our chief guest of the day, Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Gujarat. A big round of applause for him. I request all the members to rise up for the ICAI motto.
Yesha supteshu jagrati, Yesha supteshu jagrati, Kamam 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 Pursho nirvimanaha Tadeva shukram Tad Brahma Tadeva mritamucchate Tasmin lokaha shataha Sarve taduna kaschan Etadvaita
Now I request all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais to join for the lighting of the lamp. Also request Neeraj Nagri sir, Managing Committee member Rinkesh bhai, Samir bhai, Pramod Dad sir to join us for the lamp lighting. Now I request Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, CA Sunil Sanghvi sir, to address the gathering.
Respected Chief Guest, today's Chief Guest, Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax Gujarat, Shri Yeshwant Chavan, Chairman of the Direct Tax Committee ICAI, CA Piyush Chhajed, Central Council Member, CA Purushottam Khandelwal, Vice Chairman of the branch and Chairman of the Direct Tax Committee Ahmedabad, CA Nirav Agrawal, Secretary of the branch, CA Sunil Shah, Vikasa Chairman and Managing Committee Member CA Rinkesh Shah, Managing Committee Member CA Samir Chaudhary, Seniors present over here, CA Pramod Bidad, CA Niren Nagri, Dharmesh Bhai, and all dear participants. Good morning, all of you. I welcome you to all to this 2 days National Tax Convention organized by Direct Tax Committee ICAI and hosted by Ahmedabad branch. I am also thankful to our today's chief guest, Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Shri Yeshwant Chavan, for accepting our invitation and sparing his valuable time. In these 2 days tax convention, we have covered various topics like reopening taxation of NRI, budgetary provisions applicable from this assessment year 24-25, taxation of real estate transactions, how to develop the litigation practice that will be deliberated by CA Pramod Kumar tomorrow, and various other topics by various faculties in these 2 days across India. Further, I would also like to convey that yesterday we have announced one more National Tax Convention on capital market to be held on 22nd and 23rd June. Venue is same where we are sitting here. I would request all of you to join that event, the capital market, the roller coaster nowadays. And wishing for the great learning to all of you. I am also thankful to all the participants to join in the huge number. Thank you.
Now I request Purushottam Khandelwal sir, Piyush Chhajed sir and Sunil Sanghvi sir to felicitate our chief guest, respected chief guest of our day, Chief Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Gujarat, Shri Yeshwant ji Chauhan. Now it's my privilege to felicitate the Central Council member from Mumbai, Piyush Chhajed sir, and Vice Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, Nirav Agrawal, to felicitate our Direct Tax Committee Chairman, Shri Piyush Chhajed sir. Now I request our Managing Committee member Rinkesh Shah and Sameer Chaudhary to join us for felicitating our own Central Council member from Ahmedabad, Purushottam Khandelwal sir. A big round of applause. Now I request Purushottam Khandelwal sir to address the gathering.
Good morning, respected chief guest for the today's function and Principal Chief Commissioner of Gujarat, Yeshwant ji Chauhan, my colleague in the Central Council member and Chairman of the Direct Tax Committee, CA Piyush Bhai Chhajed, Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, Sunil Bhai Sanghvi. Under leadership, this conference is being organized. Secretary of the branch, Sunit Shah. Vice Chairman of the Ahmedabad branch, Nirav Bhai Agrawal. Of the dais, Rinkesh Bhai. Past Chairman of Ahmedabad branch, Niren Bhai Nagri, under whom 2010 I was a Secretary, Treasurer of Ahmedabad branch in 2010. Pramod Bhai Dad and respected members. It gives immense pleasure to be amongst you in this Friday morning. Sir, ICAI has been set up under the Act of Parliament in 1949. That is the before adoption of the Constitution of India. Sir, currently we are having 175 branches across the country, 50 overseas chapter, 5 a regional council member, and currently we are 32 elected members and 8 appointed by the Government of India. This is the working of ICAI. Since inception, ICAI is working with government, soldier to soldier, in any departments. We are working under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, directly reporting to Corporate Affairs. Sir, in Direct Tax Committee of ICAI is always play a proactive role for the formulation of the certain policy and giving our suggestions to the Government of India. The Piyush Bhai will be major elaborate to you. Sir, currently I am heading a CP committee of ICAI. CP committee, which is the mother of all committee. This year we have decided to complete a CP in one single calendar year. Previously there was a rolling period of 3 years where you have to complete CP in the 3 year. But what we are selling our services. We are advising our client today, and what is the meaning to update after 2 years. So previously we were following England and Wales. Last year I met to the President of England and Wales at London, and we convinced them that 3-year period should not be there and we have to complete in a 1 year. So I came to India and we implement to complete CP in a 1 calendar year. After implementation in India, they follow us. So first time the England and Wales follow the ICAI. So we did a lot of work with the England and Wales. Last year, we have given reciprocal MRA that Indian chartered accountants, they can practice in the UK, and UK chartered accountants, they can practice in the India. Certainly, the Britisher will never come and practice in India, but Indian people will certainly go to there and they will do the practice at UK. So this is the development. And this year, ICAI is celebrating a 75th year of inception. And we have taken so many initiatives newly. This year, we are committing one committee for AI in ICAI. That is artificial intelligence in ICAI. So we are coming with two special tools, ChatGPT like, that if you want to draft an income tax appeal, GST appeal, or ROC appeal, if you give you facts to the computer, they will draft entire appeals for you with the section and the case law. So that will be very helpful to the members. We are also coming with the ChatGPT for student. Those students, suppose they want to see how many years holding company question has been asked. So with the click of button, they will get all the questions, all the track records. So it will have a lot of works for the members and students. Another last year, I was vice chairman of the committee for member in practice, where the institute has given a software cost of rupees 20,000 free of cost to all members. How many out of you have that downloaded this software? Only one. We are doing work, we are paying amount to the vendors for the maintenance. My humble request to go to the website of cmpbenefit.com and download the software that will be designed for the optimum utilization of resources at the CA firms. So it will be helpful to you. Another, I am saying that audit is a serious business. You have seen the order passed by NAFRA. You have to take seriously audit. And in continuation to that, we have decided to do the peer review of the practicing firms. So all practicing firms, they are having a partner of 5 or more. They have to do the compulsory peer review. The last date is 30th June. If your firm is having a 5 partner or more, you cannot sign after the 30th June. So those who have not done the peer review of your firms, kindly apply for the peer review. Another, the 1st January is the last date for partner 4 or more. This is compulsory, and onward the 1st January 1st April 25, all firms, those who are doing the audit of bank branch is a compulsory. So this is important, and apart from that, I am requesting the chairman of Ahmedabad branch to conduct a one peer review training program at Ahmedabad. So that will be helpful to the practicing unity, otherwise those who want to become a reviewer. That is a condition for to become a reviewer, there is to be practice of 7 years. Those who are in the member of practicing in 7 years, they can become a peer reviewer. Or if the member, those who was in the industry for 10 years, and he again come to the practice, and they are having a 3-year experience, he can become also a peer reviewer. So I will not take much of time. The Piyush Bhai is here. I am always available for members and students in Ahmedabad. I will not take much of time. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and giving me an opportunity.
Now I request our Central Council member and Direct Tax Committee Chairman Piyush Chajed sir to address the gathering.
Thank you very much, Sunil. Very good morning to all of you. Good morning. The Honorable Chief Guest for the day, Yeshwant ji, Chavan ji, Principal Commissioner of Income Tax Gujarat. I think so he is also having a dual role from Mumbai. We have interacted a lot of times. When he was in appeal, I have appeared before him. So it's always pleasure to be this time calling you in our house rather than coming in your house. It's always has been pleasure. Central Council member from Ahmedabad, C.A. Purushottam Khandelwal ji, a very active Central Council member, doing a great work, CPE committee heading, which deals with continuing professional education program. So अगर आपको hours proper नहीं मिले तो आप पुरुषोत्तम को ही पकड़िए, DTC को मत पकड़िए. Chairman of this branch, which is a very important branch. As you all know, it has been awarded as the best branch in last 2 years also. And the chairman of that branch, obviously, is a very important, C.A. Sunil Sanghvi ji, Vice Chairman Nirav, Secretary Sudit, other committee members. I could see past chairmen, I could see a lot of senior members in the profession. Whenever there is a direct tax conference, Yeshwant ji, that's one of the best things. You will find a lot of senior faces over here. You were just discussing that how many chartered accountants are in direct tax. I'll just give you a little brief once I finish it. esteemed members of Institute of Chartered Accountants, especially of Ahmedabad branch, ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to you. I would first of all congratulate Sunil. This is the first national conference of our this council year, I would tell, of under direct tax committee. And I got this request as early in the month of April itself. And I told Purushottam Bhai that Sunil has requested for a direct tax conference. So he said me that Sunil is very much, he actually practices into direct tax, and that's why his interest is in direct tax. And we should do a conference very early. Because generally you will find DTC conferences happening now, because the same budget is delayed because of the elections around the corner. So July and August would be the time when the conferences happen. So this is the first national conference which is happening in the country of India as a whole. So very wonderful this is. Coming to just what Chavan sir, what Purushottam ji has said about our institute, I'll just take it forward, and which we were discussing earlier also. Of course, we are the single largest accounting body today in the world, because we are 410,000 members today and 9 lakh students. Predominantly out of 410,000 members, around 160,000 members are in practice. And 80% of our practicing members are predominantly, even today, their core area has been direct tax. So even if they are doing audit and assurance, but they are also connected with the tax audit, which is Form 3CD, which we are certifying, or maybe transfer pricing audit report, or maybe any certificates which are issued under the Income Tax Act. And therefore, direct tax has been always a very core area. The role of Direct Tax Committee of an Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and therefore also has become quite important over a period of time. So I'll just try to touch upon two important things. Apart from Direct Tax Committee, obviously Institute has two very important functions which we do. Is one of examination, where we certify the person to be a chartered accountant. And our examination process, I and Purushottam Bhai has been a part of exam committee. And it is such a beautiful process, and it is unconnected, uncontroversial, whereby Supreme Court has also held and has said time and again that if you want to learn how an examination has to be conducted, you should learn from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Of course, I would be patting my back on that, but obviously that's the fact about it. Apart from that, because we are the only licensing authority which issues a license to the professional members, chartered accountants, which allows them to practice the profession of chartered accountancy. So this is one of the very important regulatory functions. Whatever cases are if happening against the chartered accountants, if some issue arises, they are also coming back to the institute, and there is a disciplinary mechanism which takes place. So I thought I'll just wonder, these are two very important things. When this comes up, the third most important is standard setting. We issue accounting standards and auditing standards, and these accounting standards are mandatory for all the corporates who wants to present an accounts. So the accounts which have been filed with the return of income would be complied with the accounting standards issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants. And if it's a larger company, it would be Ind AS, which are converged version of IFRS. And that's what the level of, and you are well aware that time and again, if the accounts have been drawn on the basis, if they have complied with accounting standards, judiciary has always held, even in the income tax matters, that if the profit is derived through an accounting profit, which are through an audited accounts complying with an accounting standards, it should not be disturbed unless and until there is a separate provisions available under the Income Tax Act. So that's what the waiver is. Apart from that, when I come to a Direct Tax Committee and when I come to Income Tax Act specifically, we have a guidance note issued on tax audit, which is a very important document. Though the guidance note starts with the status that it is a recommendatory in nature, but in the last year, Council decided in June 2023 Council meeting, when the Aniket Talati was the president, we changed the authority attached to the guidance note. Though we say it's a recommendatory, but we have made it mandatory in the sense that if any member who is certifying or who is performing an assurance function, who is certifying Form 3CD, he is expected to follow that guidance note. And if he is not complying with the guidance note, he has an option available. Then he has to document that what is an alternate audit procedure which he has followed, which will also allow and protect him, ring fence him, if he is put to a question that how you have certified a particular Form 3CD or not. That's a very important aspect of it. This guidance note on tax audit has been always kept at high pedestal. Chief Guest Sir, you will appreciate that there is no definition of turnover available under the Income Tax Act. that how a turnover has to be computed for the purpose of maybe 44AB, maybe for the purpose of 44AD. It is our guidance note which says that how the turnover has to be calculated. And there are judgments to that effect by the various high courts stating that if there is no specific definition available under the Income Tax Act, then the definition provided or the calculations provided in the guidance note should be followed. Because it has been prepared by an expert body, which is institute, who is an expert in the accounting, that should be followed. And therefore, I always request my members also, whenever I try to address on a direct tax committee, that please do follow guidance note. It is a very important, it has been kept at high pedestal. It is for the protection of the members that even if I do not agree with it, even if I do not really agree with it, but because it has been issued by ICAI, when it comes to an accounting and audit aspects, it is like a final document. So it may be right or wrong, but it is a final, and therefore the members who are actually performing, discharging their assurance functions should do that. Secondly, in this last 6 months after being taken over as a chairman, we have decided, it's continuing from last year, that we should have a continuous interaction, which I was discussing during the breakfast also, with the policymakers when it comes to direct tax. This year we made a pre-budget memorandum was submitted on 24th of April. Generally we give a written representations, but this time, first time we got an opportunity to have a 90 minutes presentation physically to CBDT chairman, and it was also that meeting was attended by the representations from tax policy department. We had given total 99 suggestions, not exceeding 100, so it should not look, it's like a shoe price 999 hona chahiye, not 100. But we also made a presentation of very important 30 suggestions to them physically in 90 minutes made available to us. And they agreed to a lot of suggestions, and they in fact requested on 6 or 7 important suggestions which they would like to consider, stating that you give me another pre-budget memorandum, a secondary, a supplement to it, justifying further on this 7 to 8 areas, one of the most examples being on the tax rates under section 115 BB. So we had just made a representation that tax rate under 115 BB was increased for a particular reason. I know the objective. Everybody sitting who is practicing direct tax knows why it was done in 16-17 during demonetization period. But that objective is over. And now because the tax rates are high under that particular section, and redeeming provisions deal with the satisfaction, and satisfaction is generally correlated with the tax rates. The higher the tax rates, higher the satisfaction level. So they've actually practically agreed, CBDT chairman also agreed to that proposition. He said, yes, we'll definitely consider, you give me a further supplement justifying it, why the 60% should be brought down. Obviously, he said that, I don't know whether I will go beyond 45% because there is a provision of updated return which has come subsequent to that. And if you're filing an updated return where you are paying 37.5, effectively 25% on 30 and 50%, whether I will go that. But he said that he will be considering that. I'm sure that would be there. Apart from that, that meeting we decided that there are a lot of issues which keeps on coming up in relation to adjustments being made under 143(1), which may not be in accordance with the law, and the rectifications are not happening. Issues with faceless, which we were discussing. And we decided that day that we will make a weekly representations. What we are doing it today, whatever representations are being sent to direct tax committee by each and every individual member. It may not come through a branch, it may not come through a regional office. Each and every individual member can write to DTC at ICAI. That individual representation is being considered by committee. If it felt appropriate, it is escalated and it is written to CBDT. And they are actually considering on a weekly to weekly basis. Apart from that, this year we tried to decide a mechanism in that meeting that supposing, let's take an example, my weekly representation in a quarter are 12 representations which are coming on the issues which have been faced by the membership at large or maybe the SSE at the large. We'll discuss in a personal meeting on a quarter or 2 quarter, take a stock of situation that out of 12, how many have been already agreed upon and the changes have been made, number one. If they have not agreed upon, then what is the reasoning, means why in the personal meeting it could be discussed, because it's not necessary that CBDT may agree, they may have their own thought process to it. Then please do let us know, so at least we are settled, we can understand that all suggestions coming may not have, because the CBDT may have a different perspective to it. But on a quarterly basis, we can discuss it and at least dispose of, so that the membership at large can be made aware that why this are not being considered. The way this is functioning, I would just take an example of revision in Form 3CD which happened on last fortnight of the March. and there was an amendment which was made in regard to 43B. Form 3CD, there was this amendment was included in a different clause, which permitted you to claim allowance up till due date of filing the return, which was not in synchronization with the provisions of 43B. So immediately, I remember that time there was some meeting of the member, and some individual members said that. Actually, it was escalated by a very single individual member. And committee realized that this is a problem, this cannot be included in this clause. We made that weekly representation, and immediately on 20th March itself, a corrigendum was issued to that effect. So that's what we are trying to do. And as rightly you also voiced your, we were just discussing for the information of the members during the breakfast, the problems of faceless assessment and faceless appeals. And the chief guest was also voicing those issues with us, that whether, even if the institute feels there are issues with it, obviously you should also take up that. And he was also quite willing to that, and he accepted that even we will look into it if there is, we'll definitely take it up forward. Thank you very much for that, Chavanji. I would request, thank you. So this is the background I thought I'll just take up. Apart from for the purpose of members, these are two important things which will be coming in month of June and July, which I think so you should look forward to. A lot of things have been spoken about 43B subclause H, but I am sure members would be expecting something to come from the institute. The institute has already prepared an implementation guide. We are not coming with a guidance note, or we are not doing revision in tax audit guidance note currently, because we are hoping the budget to come in July. So if you do a revision on annual basis, we generally try to incorporate changes which have come in the budget also. So we are waiting for that. But obviously if the budget comes in July, Finance Act happens in August, so there won't be a time, and we would have to do our certification in September. So committee decided that we'll come with an implementation guide on 43B subclause H, and also other revisions in Form 3CD. A first draft is already prepared. Today evening, in fact, at 5 p.m., we have a group meeting which will be finalizing this implementation guide. And I believe after that, it will take another 2 weeks' time, because generally implementation guide is not mandatory in nature, so it does not require exposure to general public, unlike guidance note. And it will be approved by the Direct Tax Committee. I think so by end of June or first week of July, that implementation guide would be available for the benefit of the members. Once again, my suggestion, please do look into it, please do follow. There may be some difference of view. I know 43B, I can see a lot of faculties available here who may have a different opinions on that. But as I said, if institute is saying something, it may be right or wrong, but it's a final. You may not agree to a particular Supreme Court judgment कि इसको मिलना चाहिए था कि नहीं मिलना चाहिए था. People are supreme, they may feel, but ultimately whatever decision is given by Supreme Court is binding and final. So when it comes to account and audit, please believe that it's a final. You should, because that will protect you when you are discharging your assurance function. Taking it forward, we are coming with a guidance note on 10B and 10BB, which is the charitable trust. Last year we came with an implementation guide, which was again non-mandatory thing, but now we want to convert into a mandatory, and therefore we are converting it to a guidance note. An exposure draft was released. It was open for the comments up to 28th May. Total 87 comments were received for the changes to be made in that guidance note, which have been now again considered by the group. Group have already, certain comments have been incorporated, certain comments have not been incorporated because the group has not agreed with those changes. Now that will be finalized in this particular week. Because it's a guidance note, it has to be approved by the council. Council meeting is scheduled on 2nd and 3rd of July. Once the council approves, that would be also available in the public domain. So you can definitely look into it. Third, most importantly, which is very important today, and I think so, I don't know how many of members have seen a Google form which has come, is in regard to revision in the limits of tax audit, which is affecting a lot of members. I'll just go into why this forms and why the council would be considering this, and why this agenda has been taken up by the DTC committee. You may have read in the papers, there was a challenge in regard to certain members had challenged that whether institute can issue a guidelines regulating the number of audits. And there was a challenge on the constitutional right to practice or something like that. And the Supreme Court held that the guidelines are in accordance with the powers given under the Chartered Accountants Act, and therefore the guidelines can be issued. So the power of the institute was upheld in that case. But the petitioners had also said that by the advent of technology, the time when these limits were fixed was fixed last in 2013 14, I believe, it was increased to 60 tax audit limits, which does not include 44 AD and A if you are doing under the presumptive provisions, because you are opting out and you are doing a tax audit. But if you are doing purely under a 44 AB, there is a 60 tax audit limit. So the Supreme Court said that Council should consider this, that whether any revision is required, wherein these factors can be kept in mind, advent of technologies which is taking place, whether that much time is required. So President thought that we should look at, because Supreme Court has also asked us that why don't you look into it. Obviously there was no specific direction per se. But because the 10 years have elapsed, we thought we should re-look into it, we should review it. If necessary, we may not change it. So, but let's have a public opinion about it. So we have come with a Google form, and I'm sure by yesterday you should have already received emails also for that. I would request you, whatever are your views on that, please do look at it. I would just like to inform you, by yesterday evening, we actually started sending emails and WhatsApp messages day before yesterday. We have already received 2,500 responses to it. Because it's a very important subject, it may not impact into the cities of Mumbai and Ahmedabad, where the 60 tax audit limit is quite enough. But it is affecting largely to people coming from other cities, other small towns, wherein the number of chartered accountants and compared to the audits, the ratio is quite skewed. Is completely different, and they are finding it difficult. So there are coming both ways. Of course, it's a preliminary. I don't know what would be the overall structure. But when we were just yesterday evening, we were looking into the first 2,500 responses. We were getting both ways. People said that it should not be disturbed. Somebody said it should be reduced. Somebody said it should be increased. So obviously, Council will is the supreme. It will take a decision based on what the survey report comes, how the survey looks about. Apart from that, we had also requested, we had spoken to CBDT wing yesterday to give us a data about how many, under a particular pen, how many tax audits have been done by a particular member, how many aside. Because there is, you may know members that though there is a limit of 60, but if you are a partner of a partnership firm, where are 5 partners, so your limit is 300. So under a particular pen, you may be signing at 300. That's another issue which we are struggling with it. So you do not really realize that whether the limit has been bridged or not. It's not happening. So also there would be a discussion on that happening, which this form says, if you have any other matters, please do escalate to us. We'll try to consider that and put up before the council. Our target is, if we can move swiftly, it has to go to direct tax committee, then a management committee, then the council. If we can move swiftly before 2nd and 3rd July, we could approve it. Otherwise, it will go in an August council. Why it is important, I'll tell you, because Supreme Court has said, because there was a debatable issue quoting it, all these guidelines should be applicable from 1st April 24. And therefore, we need to come out with some guidelines on what will be impacting from 1st April 24, whether it would apply for financial year 23-24 or all the tax audits which have been signed after 1st April 24. A legal view would be coming from the council on that also. So please look forward to that, keeping this in the mind. So once again, I thought I'll just take some time and brief about Direct Tax Committee. Very much thank you. It's always pleasure to be over here. Sir, Western India Regional Council is one of the biggest council. I just briefed you. We have 1/3 membership strength coming from the states of Maharashtra and Gujarat. If you see, sir, council is also members of 32, which I was briefing. 11 are from the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat. And Gujarat has been quite dominating nowadays, definitely. By Purushottam Khandelwal been at the fore. He's doing great work. His branch has always been awarded as a best branch. Kudos to his whole team, whole committee over here. We have also come out with a new branch with a 150,000 square feet space available, because the branch is doing so wonderful activities that the old building was found to be short, and therefore it was felt necessary that this would be the biggest branch in this size. It's almost of the size of the regional offices, though it is a branch, and that's the activity which this branch is doing, and therefore council also felt that no, Ahmedabad should have a bigger infrastructure, because they are providing such services to the students and the members at the large. So I compliment all the team over here. Thank you very much. Have a very good learning. I would compliment the again team for the superb speakers which are lined up. I could see already Tushar will coming in, and I am sure a lot of other good speakers would be coming up. Girish Ahuja Sahab is there. When you hear him, of course, obviously you would have heard him on the screen. I don't know whether you have heard him physically, but it would be a great evening. Thank you very much once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Piyush sir, for this wonderful deliberation. First of all, thank you for giving the acknowledgements to our branch, and that too coming from a central council member is very great for us. Thank you so much. And also your efforts from the Direct Tax Committee by ICAI to the government and the various representation that you are doing, the great task that you are doing. Thank you so much. Now, the most awaited address by our chief guest, respected Chief Principal Commissioner of Income Tax, Gujarat. So the designation itself is like that, which does not need any kind of introduction, but still, I will just a matter of practice, we'll give a brief introduction. Yeshwant Chavan sir is into Indian Revenue Services since 1988. He has been the Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Gujarat and placed at Ahmedabad. His experience in department is assessment, post-search assessment, training, ITAT, CIT, appeals, international tax, transfer pricing, systems, judicial, etc. And his places of posting have been in Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kochi, Mumbai, and New Delhi, Nagpur, Pune, and Thane. With a brief introduction, I welcome you, sir, to give a address to all the gathering.
All the dignitaries on the dais, the members of the fraternity of Chartered Accountancy seated over here, ladies and gentlemen, please believe me when I say this, that you have reason to be proud. You are part of a fraternity which has constantly been at a certain level and above and never let its standards fall down. What do I mean when I say this? I am yet to meet a substandard chartered accountant. It's always above a certain level. Sadly, we can't say this about many other professions. We know that. So something has been going on right in this organization for the last 70, 80 years. And it's a kind of a virtuous cycle. And all of you, and of course the dignitaries on the dais, those seated in the first row, those who have been involved in the affairs of the institute, all of you deserve congratulations. It's not a very easy endeavor. You must understand. We are a country which is very large. We are a country which is very diverse. We know this. We have hundreds of languages, more than 30 states and union territories. We are peculiarly different, but at the same time the same. We keep on saying this. But nothing exemplifies this more than the profession of chartered accountancy as its practice in this country. I've had occasions to interact with chartered accountants, or their equivalents, if I may say so. Different designations, different nomenclature. Those in Europe and North America. Somehow, this is one profession where I personally feel you come out on top. Seriously. I don't know if this is true for every single other profession, but probably it has got to do with the way you start things. You have basically what is not there in many professions, something called as the articleship. You have mentoring. You have things like a very arduous examination, but before that, a lot of practical work has already gone in. You have article clerks who really slog. At times, my heart goes out to them. They have appeared before me from time to time, and one realizes the amount of effort that is being put in. And then the examination. The unique part of your examination is that you only conduct it. You must understand, there is this theory of examinations. I've been a trainer. I must clarify this. I've taught income tax for 7 years to 8 batches in the National Academy of Direct Taxes. By heart, I'm a trainer. So I feel very strongly about training and about examinations. Now, why do we really outsource examinations? I'm talking about a theory of examinations. Why do you outsource them? So that there should be no vested interest. मैं ही अपने बेटे का एग्ज़ाम लूँ तो फिर क्या हुआ, तो मैं उसको पास कर ही दूंगा. That is how it works. And that is why all of us have gone through this. Let's take the matriculation examination, the higher secondary 12th standard examination. The concept is this, that teaching is done by one person, but examination and valuation is done by somebody else. This is good theory. Maybe it fails, but at least it makes sense. But you guys have actually turned this entire thing on its head. And you have come up with a thing where I will conduct the exam. I am wholly responsible for it. When somebody passes the exam, he joins my club, my fraternity. But at the same time, you please be assured I'll be impartial. That's a very big ask. You probably don't think about it like this because you simply go with the flow. But for somebody like me who is an outsider, this is a very stellar achievement. It's not just throw your mind outside, throw your mind back at many other professions, many other examinations that you have seen. Sab jagah gadbad, ghotala, leakage, God knows what. It's happening. See, we have an examination for the IRS officers. It's quite strictly conducted, and theoretically, there have been probably 1 or 2 examples where officers who have not cleared that exam have been thrown out of the service. This is the way it is. But then you must understand the numbers are very small. So if we say that we only conduct it, that's no great honor, because we do it in one place. At the most, we have got, between 50 and 100 people taking the exam every year. So we can make it damn well foolproof. Okay? Then we go out to other exams outside, and we know that anything that gets conducted in multiple locations, maybe at the same time, centrally controlled, there is very little control that's there. So why am I dwelling so much on the exams? My point of telling you is that once you come through a rigorous process, then the standard is achieved. Har koi exam dega, har koi pass hoga. No. We keep on hearing stories of, I have youngsters coming and telling me, people who are, sort of my friends, my relatives' children, ki I've cleared this, I've cleared that, it's an ongoing process. It's not something like an ordinary exam, 10 standard, you go write, 40% pass, finish. Almost everybody passes. No. So part of your success is that you have managed to have an examination system which is something that we really all should learn from. This is one thing I've observed. Second thing what I've noticed is that you have made full use of the fact that you are a statutory body. Firstly, not many professions have statutory bodies. We must understand this. Yours is one of the unique and possibly the oldest, if I'm right. So you have taken all the goods, all the positives. Whenever you had issues and problems, you have approached the government with the confidence that, hey, we have come into being because the parliament passed a statute. So don't take us as some kind of a private institution. And you have managed to lobby very effectively, and that part continues still. The other part, what I feel great about being over here today, is that you have a democratic institution. You actually hold elections. Maybe there are selections also, maybe there are not contested elections, that's beside the point. But you have an electoral process in place. And today, all of those who are sitting on the dais over here have come through that only. It is not that my father is a CA or was a CA, so I am here. No, it is not that. It's a very big thing. You also have what we can say is a very remarkable kind of a thing, where you have a central body, and then you have state bodies or regional bodies, as we may call them, and they all keep on sending members. Now you must understand that Piyush just now spoke quite passionately. I have known him for some time. He is appeared before me when I was Commissioner Appeals in Mumbai. So our association goes back there. But the reason why he spoke the way he spoke and the length at which he spoke is because being a central body member, he had to tell you something. This is the way I understand it. So obviously there is this commitment. वहाँ चले गए तो यहाँ भूल गए, ये बात नहीं है. This happens in many places, many organizations, we know that. So somehow your guys are always connected. Another great thing. Yet another great thing I must say is that all of your people who are doing service today by way of being on some body, in some capacity, some member of some committee or the central committee or whatever, is doing it not because he earns something out of it, number one. Obviously, it's totally free. He gives his time freely, or she gives her time freely. but more importantly, does not take a vacation from the regular vocation, your profession. So you work, and you work really double time. When you accept a responsibility, it is over and above what you have been doing. Now, this is very different from other professions where people either say, I'm a good doctor, so I'm not going to get into this. I'm a good engineer, so I'll not get into this. This is different. It is also not like, now that I have gone there, I have to forget my patients and I have got to forget my practice. That is also not the way. So you don't have full-fledged, 100%, sort of politically inclined, if I may say, members in the central body. You have rules in place which say that one person cannot be there for more than a certain number of terms. So it basically ensures that there is always a churn, there is always a give and take. Somebody goes, he comes back, whatever it is. Why is it that you honor the past president? You honor the past president by name, by mention, by offering him a seat here, is because there is a past president. Imagine if the same president would be there for 60 years. Past president का concept नहीं होगा. So you might say that all these thoughts are very elementary. No, they are not. I am speaking as an outsider. So it is important for you, particularly those who are young over here, they should understand as to what a great legacy has been built up. It's not something that I speak just like that. I've been called today over here and I'm going to say good things. No. I've been in my job for 36 years. And from day one, I've been meeting chartered accountants. In fact, truth be told, the largest body of people that I know today in this world are chartered accountants. Why? Because that's my professional interface. I go to any city, any town, there is somebody there, I go and meet, I say hello, he comes and meets. It's there, it's a give and take. So when I am trying to praise you here, it is not because chief guests are meant to say good things, it is actually heartfelt. Thank you. The other thing here that is very important now is that you are having this, what you have called as the National Tax Convention. I saw the topics, I saw the speakers, I know a few of them. Mr. Pramod Kumar, notably, I have appeared before him about 16 years ago, consistently for a year in ICAI Mumbai. He would be coming here tomorrow. So my point of saying is that a good professional organization is not just one which holds elections, which holds exams competitively, which does not let standards fall. All these things we discussed just now, but most importantly, provides for continuing education of its members. That is one of your duties. But how many of them do it? And how many of them do it in a way that is commendable? I seriously don't know. Yours is one of these bodies, because today is not the first time I'm appearing in a situation like this. I have done this earlier 4-5 times. So this thought comes across every time that now whatever 150 odd people that are there, 200 people who want to be sitting over here, they have left their jobs for 1 day or 2 days and they're going to sit over here. Obviously, they feel that there is something worth it. See, everybody at the end of the day is a selfish person. If I get something, I will go. Otherwise, why should I go? You may come for the inaugural function and go away. That's all. No. But I'm sure that 99% of you or 100% of you would be sitting over here throughout these 2 days. Obviously, you value the content. So if you value the content, then who gets the credit? The person or the persons who have done this whole exercise. They deserve the credit for that. So the point is that it's one of those parts of the virtuous cycle. We have been always doing this, so we continue to do this. But many a times we see that whenever somebody is doing it for 50 years or 20 years or 30 years, standards go down. You can't assure that the next person will be equally committed, but somehow you guys have managed it. So kudos to you for that also, that you seriously have carried out this thing of what we can call as continuous training programs kind of a thing, very seriously. I say this once more, not only as an outsider, but as somebody who has trained 8 batches of IRS. So I have a feeling that when things are being well done, you get that sixth sense hota hai. So how do I guess this? This is probably my 1000th audience today. I speak a lot outside. It takes very little time to understand that there are interested people sitting or there are disinterested people sitting. So the feeling that I get is that all you guys have come here because you genuinely feel I will get value addition. That is the thing. The other thing what I genuinely applaud you for is that this is not a one-off exercise. There are sort of, we have programs where saal mein ek baar karte hain. that kind of a thing. No, this is not the case. You keep on doing multiple programs across multiple cities. It is truly amazing. It is not that you concentrate all your energies and say, okay, just like we have a wedding and everybody puts his might into that, and it's a fabulous wedding, very well conducted. Why? Because it's once in a lifetime. A father and a mother, they have 1 or 2 children or 3 children, so they will do it 1 or 2 or 3 times. Similarly, you have to do it once a year, so you will do a lot. No, but you do it multiple times a year. Just now, the next program itself was announced. So this is an ongoing process. So it is not just कि एक बार हमने कर दिया तो बहुत अच्छा किया, but हम बार बार करते हैं और अच्छा करते हैं. Once more, that is something I really feel is great. For me, what is chartered accountancy? I feel there are many technical answers to it. I'll stick to a very simple answer as an officer of this department. See, just as much as you need us, we need you. We are two sides of the same coin. Our objective is the same. Our point is that we would like whatever taxes are due to be paid, not more, not less. We would like to be done, like it to be done in a fair manner, in a fair, transparent, impartial kind of a manner. And towards that end, we genuinely feel good that we are being assisted by you all the time. This is not an adversarial relationship, you must understand. Firstly, you are not representing your own businesses, you are representing somebody else's business. So you are a representative. Just like a messenger, you are a representative, you are coming on a daily basis and approaching us. So we do understand that the thoughts are not yours, the thoughts are somebody else's. You are putting it across in a way that I can understand. Very simple thing, you all know this, but let me still say it. A very successful businessman comes before me and tries to tell me something. Most probably, we will speak 2 different languages. Not in terms of English or Hindi or Gujarati, but in terms of the technical language. You guys come and sit in front of me, the same problem becomes clear in 2 minutes. So we speak the same language. That is the whole point what I'm trying to make. So we always continue to be, as a department, very obliged to this fraternity because हमारी ज़िंदगी बहुत आसान हो जाती है. आप नहीं होते तो बहुत तकलीफ होती. ये बहुत बहुत दिल से बोल रहा हूँ मैं. So this, I was told about the statistics. It's truly, truly impressive. You got 4 lakh members nationwide. You got 9 lakh students. Abhi yahan pe we had a brief get together and a cup of tea, and there it was being told very proudly, sir, बताइए कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी है जिसमें 9 लाख students हैं? No, it is not there. It doesn't exist anywhere in the world. That's the thing. It's an amazing job. Not only that, I have students and they go somewhere else. क्या किया? BA किया. कहाँ गए? कहीं पे भी गए. Because there is nothing related to that. A BA or a BCom by itself does not lead to anything. Whereas in your case, the qualification leads to a direct opportunity of profession, business, job, whatever it is. So that's why you got not just 9 lakh students, but you got 4 lakh practitioners. That's a huge, huge, huge number. That's the thing. Within that thing, Western India, I'm told, is the largest. I do understand. I've worked mostly over here. I mean, my work has taken me to Pune, Bombay, Thane, Nagpur, and Ahmedabad. So I've had 5, 6 places in this region. So having interacted with those guys, I realize I want to say something, and please don't say it, please don't think that I'm saying it because I am myself from Western India. I'm from Maharashtra. No, I mean it actually. I find, I worked elsewhere also. I worked in the south. I worked in Cochin, Bangalore, Chennai. I worked in Delhi. So I still find that somehow there is something else in the chartered accountancy profession in this area. I don't know. They are probably more affable. They are more approachable. They are very clear in what they are saying. They are very clear even in saying something simple like an adjournment. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. Give me 2 weeks. Elsewhere, there are people who will go around about Mausi Bimar, Ye Bimar. I don't know what they say. It's extremely funny to have people at such senior levels give excuses which don't make sense. Best thing is to say it upfront. So I found a way that Western India practices chartered accountancy, after having worked in 5, 6 places, I'm saying, is something else. It is very good. It's a very professional thing. And I have seen in my own way where I have taken decisions which have gone rank against the arguments that were made, and 67 different arguments were taken, and I have negated all 67 and either made a massive addition or sustained a massive addition. No hard feelings. Next day with an equally smiling face, the same person is there for another case. Normally, we are human beings. If we pour something into some endeavor, we feel that we should get its return. But then you are one of those followers of Gita. Nishkam bhav se karm karte jao. So you guys don't really, it's marvelous to see. I would be a bit apprehensive कि the same guy is coming today and वो तो मुंह सुजा के आ जाएगा. It happens. He has worked for about 50-60 days for that. And I've taken a decision against him and totally negated everything. But no, that's a job. I go on to the next this thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the way you practice it here in Western India is something remarkable. So kudos for that. In terms of figures, once more, we have in Gujarat about 28,000 registered chartered accountants. 14,000, a full 50% are there in Ahmedabad. Amazing, amazing figures. The thing why I once more speak the way I'm speaking in a slightly, if you pardon my language, easygoing fashion. I'm also holding charge of Mumbai. I'm Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Mumbai. For us, Mumbai, just like you, is a region. It's not a city. So I'm right now in Mumbai and in Gujarat. And on a daily basis, I have to encounter 1, 2 or 5, whatever it is. Please don't think just because I'm Principal Chief Commissioner, I don't meet chartered accountants. आजकल तो ऐसा है कि सब चीज़ ऊपर तक upward delegation है. 1192 भी applications come to me. So I've got to, depending on the kind of quantum of relief sought. So there is a daily interface. It's always, always a pleasure. Your governing body members came and met me. We had a very nice discussion. We just now sat and had a kind of a breakfasty kind of a thing. We had a very nice discussion. Why do these things happen? Because people like me feel very comfortable with you people. You must acknowledge that. नहीं तो अदरवाइज तो क्या है भाई बुलाया जाएंगे नमस्ते करेंगे बैठेंगे बहुत जगह होता है काम है इट्स पार्ट ऑफ माई जॉब टू बी प्रेजेंट नो बट हियर आई फील इसलिए थोड़ा मैं दिल से बोल रहा हूँ और आपको लगेगा कि बहुत इनफॉर्मली बोल रहा हूँ बट इट्स अ जेन्युइन थिंग सो थैंक यू Lastly, I'll say one thing that, for a speaker, a full house is a great thing. It's a great feeling. Actor भी, कोई performer होगा उसके लिए भी, but I'm talking about, I'm a speaker, so I'm saying like that. I feel very good that the last row is occupied. So you will say, what's so great about it? The great thing is like this, that I was told the other day by Sunil ji, Sanghvi sahab, that we had to stop the taking nominations because हमारा कोटा पूरा हो गया. तो होता क्या है कि whenever you call an outsider and you present him with a full hall, he goes back with a feeling कि हाँ भाई मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा मेरे सुनने वाले थे यहाँ पे. तो on this note, I want to close my address. I'm really very thankful that you called me, you heard me with attention. I'm grateful for that. हर जगह ऐसा audience नहीं मिलता है. So I'm thankful that you have been in here in such large numbers. I take this opportunity to once more tell you that we have not an adversarial relationship, but we have a friendly, we are both on the same side trying to achieve the same objective kind of a relationship. And in that spirit of friendliness and bonhomie, you called me. I'm truly grateful. Thank you all once again. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for an excellent deliberation. Thank you so much for acknowledging all our efforts at the institute, our members and the students, and the kind of examination that are being held by our institute. And all your talks at length, whatever you said, that is dil se, we agree to it. Thank you so much for your presence, Yeshwant Chavan, sir. Piyush Chhajer ji from Mumbai, Central Council member and also the Direct Tax Committee chairman. And our own Purushottam Khandelwal sir for your presence. He is omnipresent rather. He is everywhere. Thank you so much for sparing time. And I thank you all the participants, the full house as sir said. I assure you and I wish you all the great learning. Thank you so much.
Respected members, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome Honorable President Sir of ICAI, Sanjit Kumar Agrawal sir, to the city of Ahmedabad. Sir, we are extremely thankful from your hectic and busy schedule you are here. We know you have 3:30 flight to catch, so I'll not take much of the time. I'll quickly hand over the dais to the Chairman Ahmedabad, sir, for his 2 minutes of welcome address, quick welcome address to the President, sir.
I welcome respected President, sir, Shri Ranjit Kumar Agarwal ji, who has spared us time for us, especially come for us. He is having the flight at 3:30 p.m. He was about to rush to the airport, taking for no further time. I am summing up here. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. Yeah, over to Neerav.
Thank you, sir. I'll quickly request the Central Council member Purushottam sir and Piyush Chhajar sir, along with the Chairman Ahmedabad branch, to welcome President sir with a memento. So please accept this small token of love and appreciation on behalf of all the members of Ahmedabad branch present here. So we are heartily grateful for your esteemed presence. I will quickly hand it over the podium to President sir for his august gathering to the audience.
Thank you very discuss and interact with the people of Gujarat. Kem Cho, Majama. This is the normal 2 word I have learnt last year when Aniket Talati was the president and I was the vice president. We have traveled entire 1 year and we have eaten so much of khakra, papada, jalebi. So, thank you very much. Very respected our council member, Piyush Chhajar, who is the chairman of the directors committee under whose committee this program being organized. There are few members in the council who are technically and legally so strong and sound. And that's why whenever we have formed the disciplinary committee, so not only one bench, 2 bench I have co-opted him as a member of the disciplinary committee because of his knowledge, hard work, and the clarity in the legal matter is concerned. He's like his father, who was the president of the ICAI, Mr. S.P. Chhajar Saab, and who was also very ethical, down to earth, and outspoken in the council table. So thank you very much for electing Piyush Chhajar in the council of the ICAI. We have another very local and very down to earth, hard-working Central Council member, Purushottam Khandelwal, and he is the 2nd year in the row, the chairman of the CP committee. And the kind of program, the kind of awareness program is being conducted across the country. Last year alone, 73,000 CP seminars were organized by institute across the country. And we have generated 36,50,000 CP hour in 1 year under the leadership of Purushottam Khandelwal. And so many other activities involved. Last year also in the committee for member in public service, this year the CP committee also. So thank you very much also to electing Purushottam Khandelwal also in the council of our ICAI. And Dhinal Shah, we have worked 3 years in the council. When I entered the council, he was in the 3rd term in the council. And as usual, as a legal luminary, the conceptual knowledge, the kind of expertise he has of the subject. It's a very good time, Dhinal Bhai. We have spent 3 years and I have also learned a lot. Thank you very much for being in the council. Mr. Singhvi, Sunil Singhvi, the chairperson, other member and ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I was coming from Barodara. There is also one program by PDC going on. And as far as this profession, as far as direct tax session you are having, the profession in the sense there was a time when we used to have a practice of direct tax. The profession of the chartered accountancy used to be a practitioner of the direct taxes initially when this profession started. And over the period of time till late 20s, the profession continued in the practice of the direct tax practitioner. But over the period of time, in last 20-25 years, the way economical developments took place, the way economical advancement has happened in our country, the way various other fields has evolved, whether it's a GST or it's a RERA or it's a insolvency bankruptcy law, forensic audit, now the sustainability reporting is a big area of practice, with the merger acquisitions, private equity, So many other new area has emerged in last 20, 25 years. It's a huge professional opportunity and the professional presence in our country. And if the economy is growing, if the country is having a more than 8.3% growth last quarter we have witnessed, it's a $4 trillion economy. And that financially, we are the only professional in this country which has the mandate to certify what is true and what is not true. How the economy can grow without the contribution of the chartered accountant? If the GST informal economy converting to informal to formal economy, the contribution of the chartered accountant, they used to be the only advocate and other practitioner only in service tax law. The moment GST come, we have embraced, we have adopted, and then we have delivered with the best of our ability. That is the traits, that is the strength of the profession of the chartered accountancy. Whenever new things come, we learn, we adopt, and then we deliver. Take the case of direct tax alone. 10 years before, the total direct tax collection happened in our country. 62% coming from the corporate sector and 38% coming from non-corporate sector. After 10 years, 2022-23 data released by the CBDT, 50% of 16 lakh crore, which was the direct tax collection last year, 50% of the 16 lakh crore came from the corporate sector and 50% came from non-corporate sector. Now, there are 7,000 listed company. You may say 7,000 listed company, there are 400 firms having 10 partners and more. They might be advising them and they might be collecting the tax from this corporate sector. But there are 1,60,000 practicing CA who are spread length and breadth of every corner of this country, and they are advising the MSME sector of our country. And the research says that the total growth of the economy, employment generation or GDP, the maximum contribution goes to MSME sector. And this MSME sector is being advised, guided by the small and medium practitioner of the Chartered Accountant Institute. So your contribution, where you are advising the non-corporate sector also in every nook and corner, is more than the Chartered Accountant who are advising the corporate sector also. So it's a total aggregation of the corporate and non-corporate sector being advised by the profession of chartered accountancy, and that's why we are called partner in nation building. And the way we are discharging our duty, the way we are performing our functions, it's a huge, huge contribution to the nation building. Last year, people used to say that some cases of the chartered accountancy come in media and this and this. Last year alone, 1 crore 60 lakh UDN were generated by all practicing chartered accountant in 1 year. Now 1 crore 60 lakh UDN means 1 crore 60 lakh signature by chartered accountant. Out of that, 642 complaints in the disciplinary committee came to the ICAI in last 1 year. Now if you see 1 crore 60 lakh signature and 641 complaint of this 1 crore 60 lakh, if you see the number, it's a peanut. But yes, we are the profession where we work on the zero defect and 100% efficiency. Because we have a code of ethics which says that even if something is legal and if it is not ethical, then we should not resort to those kind of practices. This is the Code of Ethics 1963 guiding the profession of this profession of chartered accountancy. But even though these are the aberrations, the mistakes, the non-compliance or non-performance by the chartered accountant of 500, 700 cases every year. But the larger picture, if you see, 1 crore 60 lakh certification, balance sheet, audit, corporate, non-corporate put together is being generated and done by the chartered accountant in this country. It's a yeoman service we are doing. But the problem is, we are ourselves are not confident and we are not taking pride in ourselves what kind of work we are doing. If this country is growing of this growth pace, the number which we are seeing in every day, now the digitalization has happened. Now this digitalization has happened, and data are being generated every day, humongous data being generated. If you have the data, the total global digital transaction, 46% of the total global transaction are happening in India alone. Now, if these data are generated every day, and there are 160,000 practicing CA in this country, who is going to certify this data? As a mandate, last 75 years, 1949 to till today, the profession of chartered accountancy has been given this mandate to certify. Now, if the huge number of data are generated, and the numbers are peanut, 160,000 practicing CA in a country of 1.4 billion people, $4 trillion, $5 trillion already we have seen in the capital market capitalization. How to do that? That's why the number are peanut, concentration of work might be in few hands, but the economical requirement and the growth trajectory on which this country is going, the role is and role was of the chartered accountant, role will be. The data is the new oil, and skill is the new currency. We have to upgrade, we have to upskill of various technological advancement are happening in this country, and we have to embrace. I am giving you one example. Now the balance sheet we are signing, this balance sheet audit report will be converted now in the audio and video mode. A small chartered accountant or a small investor in the Porbandar of Gujarat want to know the qualification in the audit report, he or she can listen the audit report in the local Gujarati language through artificial intelligence. This is the transformation are happening in our profession. The government has already given the digital audit in addition to the financial audit we are doing for some select of company by the SEBI. We have given the format of the digital audit. So if the technological transformation are happening that way, can we not embrace the technological advancement which are going to be the order of the day? And that's why we have also made a committee, AI in ICAI. Artificial intelligence, how is going to change the entire spectrum of the profession. American Bank had just released the data last year. 2020, $319 billion, the whole profession of artificial intelligence. They are projecting 2026, $319 billion will become $900 billion of artificial intelligence. Now this artificial intelligence is changing so fast and impacting every walk of the life, the profession of the accountancy cannot be aloof. And that's why we have made a committee called AI in ICAI. Now there are 9 lakh students. They need the suggested answer, study mat, RTP, and question bank. We have decided, we are developing a GPT tool. We have decided to download all these things in the GPT. Last 75-year questions can be downloaded. Now the student want to know how many times section 148 of the income tax came in last 75 years. Without reading the question, the system can answer by click of the button, these are the area, these are the time, this question has come in the examination. What is AS2? What is the relevance of AS2? Cost or net realizable value, whichever is lower. Why it is low? So the system can answer by click of the mouse, this is AS2 and this is the logic with 97% accuracy. We have decided this entire tool which we are developing to give the 9 lakh students of our profession free of cost. Now I was telling 160,000 practicing CA we have. 160,000 practicing CA in which 5 partners and below and proprietors comprise of 97.2% of the 96,000 firm. 96,000 firm we have, and these are the 160,000 comprise of 96,000 firm, where 5 partners and more comprise of more than 97%. Now how to handhold them? how to give them the digital tool, how to build their digital and infrastructure capacity of the office, what is the audit plan, can we develop a simulation technique where all the engagement letter to recording and documentation of the audit we have done can be streamlined and can be given to the student, a member of the profession. 7,000 listed company, and there are 23 lakh unlisted company ROC, where 64% company are active only. So the 17 lakh company are active and 7,000 listed. All the audit report of these 17 lakh, 7,000 company can be downloaded in the system. And if you want to know how to qualify a related party transaction, what other auditors have done in the similar situation, you can know by click of the mouse, because all the report is of the listed company in the GPT tool. We have developed, almost developed, and we are going to give this tool of this AI, ICAI GPT, which we are developing, to all the 1,60,000 members free of cost. We have to embrace with the technological advancement. It's an income tax or GST or RERA or a IBC, doesn't matter. We have to aggregate and then we have to deliver. Otherwise, the relevance and the trust imposed on the working and the certification of the CA by the Parliament of last 75 years has to be sustainable. We have to restore the glory of our forefather, which we have trusted on us, we are doing, and we have to continue the growth and development of this country. The Supreme Court recently, we have made a tax audit limit. One CA cannot audit more than 60 tax audit in a year. Somebody went to court, 2-3 High Court has given different judgment. Then we have collected all the judgment of the High Court to Supreme Court. We filed a complaint in Supreme Court that all the orders of the High Court should be come together and Supreme Court should decide. Last 22nd of May, the judgment has come. The Supreme Court has said the Institute of Chartered Accountant Council has absolute power to frame the guideline to regulate the profession of chartered accountants. They have every right to uphold and regulate the limit of the tax audit, company audit, whatever, because it's a regulation of the profession. But if you want to bypass the regulation and want to go to the court of the disciplinary judgment of the ICAI, how the profession will survive? The institute is the only authority in this institute to regulate the profession. As I told you, 1 crore 60 lakh UDIN, 500, 600 complain. Now, if some chartered accountant do some mistake, we ourselves are forwarding in the WhatsApp group. Okay, this is the mistake, this is the problem, this is the issue, the one chartered accountant done. We ourselves propagate. Somebody told me there is no unity in the profession. I told them, unity happen in the misery. Unity will never happen in the prosperity, because every chartered accountant is prosperous. They don't want to listen to others. So if we ourselves are propagating the mistakes done by our peers, and in that WhatsApp group, other than CA, government, bureaucrats, non-CA, everybody is there. We ourselves are propagating, okay, this is the profession, our members are doing bad thing. So the mistakes are very few, but the contribution is huge. We are not considering the contribution made by CA, but we are highlighting the mistakes done by CA. So it's our profession. We have to unite. We have to. There is an ample space for every professional in this country, whichever field they want to. The only condition is we have to upgrade. There is a low-hanging fruit of huge bunch of opportunity hanging. We have to upgrade a little bit to pluck the fruits of the opportunity. I wish all of you best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, President, sir, for gracing this occasion for your love of Ahmedabad branch. Sir, we are heartily thankful for your esteemed presence and for agreeing to the last-minute changes and addressing the members of Ahmedabad branch. Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to extend a heartiest gratitude to the Speaker, Dinal Shah, sir, for his address to this August gathering. Thank you, Dinal, sir.